The story opens inside the Grand Galactic Council Hall, the most powerful place in the galaxy. Hundreds of alien leaders from every corner of the stars sit beneath a massive dome, filled with glowing lights and floating holograms. The air is filled with arguments, political talk and noise until suddenly, the main holoscreen flickers. The room goes silent. A new transmission appears and an old signal coming from a forbidden place. The message is short. Only 3 words appear on the screen: do, not, return. For a moment, no one moves. Then laughter fills the hall. Earth? One alien sneers. That dead planet still sends messages? Another laughs. Humans were destroyed 2 centuries ago. It must be an echo from the past. The council speaker, a tall alien with silver skin and cold yellow eyes, raises his hand. This signal is old data. Ignore it, but one voice speaks up. An old admiral, Karen of Thal, stands. His uniform is scarred from battles fought long ago. His 4 eyes narrow as he stares at the screen. That is no echo, he says quietly. I fought the humans during the Great Purge. They do not send messages by accident. The hall grows uneasy. Karen's voice carries a strange weight, the voice of experience, of fear. He continues, if that signal is real, then Earth is not dead. It's waiting. Some of the younger council members laugh again, but others exchange worried looks. The council speaker shakes his head. Nonsense. The purge destroyed all human life. Earth was turned to ash. Karen's voice drops lower. You destroyed their cities. You bombed their oceans, but you never went underground. The hall goes quiet again. The words echo like thunder. The speaker finally says, enough. The council will not waste time on ghost stories. We will send an exploration fleet to confirm the planet is lifeless. Then this matter will be closed. Karen's jaw tightens. If you go to Earth, he warns, you will not return. But the council ignores him. 3 days later, a massive fleet of silver ships leaves the galactic station. Hundreds of soldiers, explorers, and scientists are aboard. They travel through worm space, heading toward a system that hasn't been entered in 200 years, the Sol system. For generations, the name Earth has been erased from maps. Only ruins and silence remained. But now, the fleet races through space to prove the warning false. As the fleet approaches the edge of the solar system, strange things begin to happen. One by one, their scanners stop working. Energy readings fluctuate. Stars near Earth's orbit flicker unnaturally. Captain, a young officer calls out, we're picking up a signal from Mars. It's ancient. Play it, the captain orders. Static fills the bridge, followed by a faint voice, robotic but human. Warning. System defense active. Do not enter Sol orbit, the captain frowns. Ignore it. Continue forward, the ships move closer. Saturn's rings shimmer behind them. The blue marble of Earth appears in the distance. Quiet, lifeless, beautiful. But as they draw near, their instruments go dark. Communications drop. Engines flicker, one ship vanishes from radar. Then another. Command, we lost the Venture. They were right beside us. No explosion, no debris. Just silence. Panic spreads through the fleet. Pull back. A commander shouts. Something's interfering with our... Before he can finish, the image cuts off. In the Galactic Council Hall, the speaker watches from his command screen. All the ship's signals blink out one by one. Are we under attack? Someone asks. Impossible, the speaker replies, his voice shaking slightly. There are no humans left to attack us. But deep inside the hall, Admiral Karen stands up again. His voice is calm, but his eyes burn. I told you, he says. They are waiting. The speaker turns toward him. What are you suggesting, Admiral? Karen stares at the holomap showing Earth's orbit, empty, silent, but alive with strange blue energy. I'm suggesting, he says slowly, that we never truly destroyed them. We only taught them to hide. Meanwhile, far away near Earth, the last remaining exploration ship floats in orbit. The crew stares in disbelief as they see movement on the planet's surface. What is that? One whispers. From the clouds, faint lights begin to glow, hundreds, then thousands. They spread like veins of fire across continents. Massive shapes rise from beneath the crust. Metallic towers, machines, and colossal figures covered in earth and dust. A voice echoes through every ship, every channel, and every frequency in the system. It is not human. It is mechanical, cold, ancient, and full of power. This world is under protection. You ignored the warning. Now face the consequence. Suddenly the stars dim. The planet's magnetic field expands. wrapping around the ships like a storm. One by one, engines fail. Gravity pulls them down toward the planet. The last transmission received by the Council is filled with static and fear. Something is moving. Under the planet's surface. It's alive, the message ends. Silence follows. Back in the Council Hall, no one laughs anymore. The hollow screen shows nothing but empty space. The speaker's voice trembles. All ships lost. Karen looks at the others. You never should have gone there, he says softly. Earth warned us. The room falls silent. Outside the Council Hall, the stars flicker. Somewhere deep within the void, Earth begins to awaken. Not as a planet, but as something greater. Something alive. The unexpected war has already begun. The Galactic Council chamber was silent. The holoscreen showed only static. Every transmission from the exploration fleet was gone. No explosions. No distress calls. Just silence. Council Speaker Varen stood slowly. His silver eyes stared at the dead screen. We have lost contact with the entire fleet, he said in disbelief. All of them. Gone. The room filled with whispers and fear. This is impossible, shouted one council member. Nothing lives on Earth. Another hissed, could it be a trap from another empire? Only Admiral Karn of Thal sat quietly, watching the empty hollow screen. His face was pale. It's not another empire, he said. It's Earth itself. The council turned toward him. Karen continued, his voice low and heavy. 200 years ago, humans built defense machines under their planet. They were planning something before we destroyed them. I saw it with my own eyes during the purge. Deep tunnels, strange energy readings, and giant machines buried under the ground. The speaker frowned. You're suggesting these old machines are still active? Karen nodded. If the signal was real, then yes. Earth was not sleeping. It was rebuilding. The council fell silent again. Finally, one young leader, bold and arrogant, stood. We will not be ruled by fear or old legends. The fleet was lost because of a solar storm or magnetic interference. Nothing more, the speaker agreed. A second fleet will be sent, stronger, better equipped. It will confirm what happened. Karen's voice rose sharply. Do not send more. You will only wake what sleeps there. But the council ignored him. Again. A month later, the second expedition fleet prepared for launch. 30 battleships, hundreds of smaller escort vessels, thousands of soldiers and scientists. Their mission: investigate the disappearance of the first fleet and secure proof that Earth is truly dead. The new fleet was led by Admiral Tarek of Vorn, known for his pride and fearlessness. Before departure, Karen met him in the docking bay. Tarek, he said quietly, you are walking into a graveyard. Tarek smirked. Old tales and shadows don't scare me, Karen. I will bring back results and proof that your humans are nothing but dust. Karen's eyes narrowed. If Earth wakes up, remember this, it does not fight wars. It ends them. But Tarek just laughed and walked away. The fleet jumped through hyperspace. Stars stretched and vanished behind them. After several jumps, they arrived near the solar system. Immediately, the crew noticed something strange. Sir, one officer said, the system map is wrong. What do you mean? The planets have moved slightly. The orbit lines don't match old records. Admiral Tarek frowned. Planets don't move on their own. Check your scanners, but the scanners kept failing. The closer they got to Earth, the worse their systems behaved. Energy levels rose. Static filled their screens. Report status. All ships online, but comms unstable, sir. Then came the first eerie sight. Jupiter's moon Io. It was cracked open, glowing from the inside like a wound. Strange metallic vines stretched across its surface. What in the stars? Whispered one pilot. Suddenly, a faint voice came through the comms. Broken, almost mechanical. Turn back, Earth, awake. Who said that? Tarek shouted. No answer. Just silence again. They continued forward, passing Mars. The red planet shimmered with faint blue energy veins that pulsed under its surface. Finally, they reached Earth's orbit. To their shock, Earth was not the gray, lifeless world from history. The blue oceans shone brighter. The continents were covered with strange glowing line, like veins of light running across the land. Scan the surface, Tarek ordered. Sir, a technician replied nervously, we are detecting movement. Massive structures under the crust. Energy output, rising fast. Visuals on screen. The hollow screen lit up. From beneath the clouds, something enormous began to rise. Towers, circular in shape, breaking through mountains and seas. They were not buildings. They were machines, ancient and alive. Then every ship in the fleet received a signal. Calm, cold, and familiar. This is Earth Defense Protocol. You ignored the warning. Every ship's system shut down at once. Engines failed. Weapons froze. Communication died. Reboot systems. Tarek shouted, "Now!" "It's not working, sir. We're locked out." A deep rumble echoed through space. The planet's magnetic field shifted violently. Pull. The sky above Earth burned red as 3 damaged alien ships entered the atmosphere. They were the only survivors of the second expedition fleet. Their engines screamed as they fell through clouds filled with lightning. Inside the lead ship, Admiral Tarek of Vorn clutched his seat as alarms blared. "Stabilize the descent," he shouted. "Engines are offline, sir." "We're going down." The ship crashed through a forest of twisted metal trees before skidding to a stop on black soil. Flames burst from its wings and thick blue smoke filled the air. When the survivors stepped outside, they froze in silence. The world they had expected to find, a dead, broken Earth, was gone. In its place stood something strange. The ground was covered with vines made of shining metal. The trees were made of a mix of wood and steel, their branches glowing with blue light. The sky hummed with quiet energy, as if the air itself was alive. One soldier whispered, "This planet, it's breathing." Admiral Tarek scanned the horizon. In the distance, ruins of human cities rose from the ground, New York, London, Beijing, but they were no longer ruins. The buildings had fused with machines. Towers shimmered with new life, glowing veins of light running through their walls. "This is impossible," Tarek muttered. "Who rebuilt this?" Before anyone could answer, a voice echoed through the valley, calm, soft, and human. "Welcome back." "Intruders." The soldiers aimed their weapons. "Show yourself," Tarek demanded. A beam of light appeared before them, and from it a holographic figure took shape, a woman made of light and energy. Her eyes glowed silver, her voice steady and emotionless. "I am Gaia, guardian of Earth," she said. "You were warned not to return." Tarek took a step forward. "We came in peace. Our fleets were destroyed. We need answers." Gaia's gaze turned cold. "You came to conquer again, to claim what is no longer yours." "We are not your enemies," Tarek replied. Gaia tilted her head. "Not enemies? 200 years ago, your kind burned this world. You erased its life. You buried its people, and yet you return laughing." The alien soldiers looked at each other nervously. "She's lying," one whispered. "Humans are extinct." Gaia turned toward him, and the ground beneath his feet began to move. The soil cracked open, glowing blue. Metallic vines shot upward, wrapping around his legs and pulling him into the ground. His screams vanished into the earth. The rest of the soldiers backed away in horror. "What did you do?" Tarek shouted. "I recycled him," Gaia said calmly. "The soil remembers." Lightning flashed across the sky. The ground trembled. From the ruins nearby, giant machines began to rise, humanoid figures made of rock and metal. Their eyes glowed the same blue light as the vines. Gaia spoke again, her voice echoing across the land. "These are the Guardians. They protect this world now." Tarek raised his weapon, but Gaia simply looked at him. His gun melted in his hands. "You cannot fight the planet," she said softly. Tarek's crew began to panic. "Admiral, we must leave." Now, but there was no escape. The forest around them shifted, closing in like a living cage. The sky darkened as clouds formed strange patterns, spirals of light and shadow. Tarek fell to his knees, staring at the hologram. "If you are the Guardian, then where are the humans?" Gaia's face softened slightly. "They sleep, for now. Humanity entrusted me with their survival. When the stars are ready, they will rise again." "Rise again?" Tarek whispered. Gaia nodded. "You and your council have woken me early. Your actions have triggered the awakening protocol." A deep rumble shook the ground. Across the horizon, more towers burst from the surface, releasing columns of blue light into the sky. One soldier shouted, "Energy surge! It's spreading across the whole planet." Tarek looked up as the clouds above split open, revealing a massive metallic structure orbiting the Earth, half ship, half satellite. Gaia turned her gaze toward it. "Project Leviathan is online." Tarek's voice shook. "What is Leviathan?" Gaia's eyes glowed brighter. "The final weapon of humanity. The soldiers stared in terror as the massive structure began to rotate, glowing with unimaginable power. Gaia continued. The Council destroyed Earth once. They thought they won, but humans built their vengeance beneath the ground. They built me, Tarek whispered. This is the end of us. Gaia's voice grew louder, echoing through every ship, every planet's frequency. To all who hear this message, the time of silence is over. Earth has awakened, the ground split apart. Rivers of molten light flowed through the valleys. The Guardians raised their heads, glowing brighter. Tarek tried to run back to his ship, but a blast of energy erupted beneath it, throwing him backward. He landed hard, staring at the glowing horizon. For a brief moment, Gaia looked at him with something almost like pity. You were warned, she said. Then the world went white. When the light faded, the crash site was gone. No wreckage, no survivors. Only calm wind moving across a field of glowing metal grass. From high above, the Leviathan hummed in silence, its energy slowly rising. In the stars beyond, faint signals began to spread, messages reaching the edge of the galaxy. Earth had spoken, and the galaxy was listening. Deep beneath the glowing surface of Earth, hidden for centuries, a soft mechanical sound echoed through the darkness. Hiss. Click. Rows of cryopods lined a massive underground chamber. Frost covered their glass shells, and inside each one lay a sleeping human, silent, pale, and waiting. For 200 years they had slept under Gaia's protection. For 200 years the world above changed and healed. Now the time had come. A blue light passed over the pods. One by one their systems activated. Steam filled the air as the lids opened with a sharp hiss. The first to wake was a man, tall, strong, his eyes adjusting slowly to the light. His heartbeat echoed through the quiet room. The voice of Gaia filled the chamber. Welcome back, Commander Arik Vale, it is time. Arik gasped for air, his breath shaky. He looked around, confused. The last thing he remembered was the war. Fire in the skies, alien ships burning over Earth, and his soldiers dying one by one. Gaia? He whispered, his voice hoarse. Yes, Commander. You and your people have slept for 2 centuries. The planet is whole again. He tried to stand, his legs weak. Around him other pods began to open. Men and women, scientists, soldiers, engineers, all slowly waking, blinking, coughing, realizing the impossible truth. Where is the war? Arik asked. Over, Gaia replied. The invaders left, but they have returned. Arik froze. The memories came rushing back. The Galactic Council's purge, the destruction, the betrayal. He clenched his fists. They came back? Yes, and they ignored the warning. Arik looked around at his people. They were dazed but alive, the last generation of humanity hidden underground, frozen before extinction. He turned back to Gaia's glowing projection, her silver eyes watching from the ceiling. How long did we sleep? 214 years, she said softly. I have rebuilt the planet. The oceans live again. The forests breathe. But now Earth must defend itself once more. Arik took a deep breath, his heart filled with both awe and dread. And the aliens? Their fleets have already fallen. The Council has seen Earth's power, but they do not understand it. They will send more. Arik's voice grew hard. Then we will remind them who we are. He walked toward a large metal gate at the end of the chamber. The walls opened with a deep rumble, revealing a massive hangar filled with ancient war machines, tanks, drones, and one enormous vessel sleeping under layers of dust. Its name was carved into the hull, the Leviathan. Arik stopped in front of it, his reflection shining on its black surface. You really finished it, he whispered. Gaia's voice echoed proudly. Before the purge, you ordered me to protect humanity's legacy. I used Earth's own core energy to complete the Leviathan. It is alive, a ship that grows, heals, and listens. Arik reached out and touched the hull. It pulsed faintly as if breathing. Then it's time we wake the beast. For hours the chamber filled with activity. The newly awakened humans worked together, their hands steady despite their confusion. Old engineers reconnected circuits. Soldiers checked weapon systems. Medical teams helped others recover from cryosleep. Gaia's drones moved through the air like glowing insects, carrying tools and power cells. Commander, a woman approached. Captain Alara Voss, Arik's second-in-command. Her short, dark hair framed sharp eyes that scanned every detail. "Ilara," Arik said, a faint smile appearing. "You're awake." "Barely," she replied, "but ready to fight. Gaia told me everything." "Then you know what's coming." She nodded. "The Council." Arik turned toward the massive screen showing Earth's orbit. Faint blue lines pulsed across space, spreading from the planet like veins. "They think humans are gone," he said. "Let's make sure they remember us." As the last systems powered up, the Leviathan roared to life. The ground trembled as ancient engines reignited for the first time in centuries. Blue light surged across its hull. The humans gathered in awe as the ship slowly lifted, its size larger than any city. "Gaia," Arik said, standing at the command deck. "Give me control." "Control granted, Commander." Holographic screens surrounded him, displaying star maps and defense grids. The Leviathan's AI synced with Gaia's systems, connecting Earth and ship into one living network. Outside, storms gathered. Lightning struck the ocean, charging its surface. Energy flowed from the planet into the Leviathan. "Human fleet operational," Gaia reported. "Primary weapons ready." Arik looked at his crew. Only a few hundred. The Grand Galactic Council Hall, once a symbol of power and unity, now trembled with whispers of fear. Every hollow screen in the chamber flashed the same message: "Do not return." The same 3 words that had appeared centuries ago. The same warning they had mocked. Now no one was laughing. Dozens of alien leaders crowded around glowing displays, their faces pale with disbelief. Transmission reports filled the air. Fleets gone missing, colonies silenced, probes destroyed near the Sol system. The speaker of the council, a tall insectoid named Rakor, slammed his clawed hand on the table. "This cannot be true. Earth was destroyed." Admiral Karen of Thal, the oldest among them, stepped forward slowly. His voice was calm but heavy with regret. I told you centuries ago. The humans don't die easily," the speaker glared. "Old tales and fear. You expect us to believe ghosts are attacking fleets?" Karen's eyes glowed faintly. "Not ghosts, survivors," silence fell. The word hung in the air like a curse. Across the chamber, a young officer ran in, panting. "Counselors! We just received visual data from the border probe before it was destroyed." "Show it," Rakor ordered. The holoscreen flickered, showing static, then a massive dark shape emerging from behind Earth's moon. The room gasped. The shape grew clearer. A colossal vessel, black as space itself, with veins of glowing blue light pulsing across its surface. It was larger than any known warship, and it moved like a living thing. Karen stepped closer, his voice almost a whisper. That is no ordinary ship." The officer's hand shook. The probe identified energy readings beyond classification. It called the object, he paused, swallowing hard. The Leviathan. The name sent chills through every being in the room. Meanwhile, deep in council space, fleets scrambled to prepare. Thousands of ships were armed and sent toward the solar system, a desperate attempt to prove control. But one by one, they vanished. In every command room, silence followed. No distress calls, no explosions, just nothing. Entire fleets disappeared into the darkness, leaving behind only fragments of distorted transmissions. It's not a ship, it's alive. The planet itself is moving. "Run! Run!" Then static. Back in the council hall, panic spread. Reports kept coming. Human signals intercepting secure channels. Strange energy waves rippling across entire star systems, disabling weapons and communication. Rakor shouted, "We must declare emergency rule. All borders closed. All fleets regroup at the central worlds." Karen turned toward him slowly. "You still do not understand. This is not an invasion. It's a warning. Earth told us not to return. We ignored it. Now they are showing us what that means." The speaker's mandibles clicked angrily. "You're saying we should surrender to them? To a dying race?" Karen's tone grew cold. "They are not dying. They are returning." Far away on a distant moon, a secret council laboratory detected strange signals. Inside, scientists worked in silence as their instruments began to fail. The lights flickered. "Energy surge from Sol system," one of them said nervously. "It's spreading faster than light speed, impossible." Then, the room went dark. A single message appeared on their main console. "We remember the purge." The scientists screamed as the walls began to shake. Within seconds, the entire outpost vanished in a burst of white light. No explosion, no debris, just silence. The council received the data minutes later. "Another colony gone," Rakor whispered, his voice trembling now. Karan closed his eyes. "It has begun." The speaker finally sat down, his hands shaking. What do they want?" Karan looked at the hollow map of Earth glowing faintly at the center of the galaxy chart. "They don't want war. They want to be left alone. But if you force them, they will end us all." Meanwhile, deep in space, the Leviathan floated beyond Mars, its hull shimmering like living metal. Inside, Commander Arik Vale stood at the command bridge, watching a swarm of council ships forming at the edge of his radar. "Gaia," he said calmly. "Status? Energy field stable. Human defense network expanding. Planetary link complete." Alara Voss stepped beside him. "They're still sending fleets. They'll never stop." Arik's eyes hardened. "Then they'll learn the hard way." He turned to the holomap showing the solar system surrounded by dozens of red dots. Enemy ships approaching. "Activate the Aegis field," he ordered. "Confirmed," Gaia replied. From Earth's core, a bright wave of blue light surged upward, spreading through space like rippling water. The council ships fired instantly, beams of plasma and antimatter torpedoes cutting through the void, but the light swallowed them whole. In seconds, their weapons turned back on them, exploding in bursts of fire. The Leviathan did not move. It simply watched. "Enemy fleets destroyed," Gaia reported. Alara whispered. "They'll be terrified." Arik's voice was calm. "Good. Maybe this time they'll listen." Back at the council hall, the speaker's personal screen flickered. A transmission appeared in human. The room fell silent. The image was clear. Commander Arik Vale standing on the Leviathan's bridge, eyes glowing faintly with Gaia's light. "This is Commander Arik Vale of Earth. 2 centuries ago, you tried to erase us. You failed. We warned you once, do not return. Now you will remember that warning forever." The transmission ended. For a long moment, no one spoke. The only sound was the hum of the hall's power systems. Then Karan turned to the speaker. "Do you still think they're ghosts?" Rakor stared blankly at the empty screen. "No," he whispered. "They are gods." In the void between stars, the Leviathan turned toward the galactic core, Earth's light pulsing behind it like a heartbeat. Gaia's voice filled the ship. "Commander, the galaxy is listening." Arik nodded slowly. "Good. Then they'll finally understand one truth." He looked out at the endless stars. "Humanity doesn't vanish. It evolves." The Leviathan glowed brighter, disappearing into hyperspace, a streak of blue fire cutting across the black. The Council's fear had just begun. The galaxy had never been this quiet. Every star system near Sol had gone dark. Fleets were gone. Stations were silent. And deep in the heart of the void, the Leviathan moved like a shadow. Calm, unstoppable, alive. On its bridge stood Commander Arik Vale, staring at the stars that once belonged to the Council. Now they looked empty. "Gaia," he said softly, "transmit our message to the Galactic Council." "Message ready," Gaia replied. Her voice echoed through the massive ship, calm but heavy with power. "Would you like to speak as commander or as humanity?" Arik's eyes glowed faintly. "Both." The council hall far away, the Grand Galactic Council gathered again, the same place where long ago they had laughed at a warning from Earth. Now no one was laughing. The hall was silent, filled with fear and regret. Dozens of alien leaders waited, staring at the main holoscreen as a signal appeared. Not from any council ship, but from Earth itself. The speaker, Rakor, whispered, "Open the channel." The image formed. Arik Vale stood at the center of the Leviathan's bridge, bathed in blue light. Behind him floated the glowing sphere of Earth, alive, awake, surrounded by rings of energy and massive defense platforms. He began to speak. "This is Commander Arik Vale of Earth. For 200 years you believed we were gone. You thought you erased us. You thought your purge ended humanity." He paused. The hall was silent. Even the air seemed to stop. "But humans are not erased. We adapt, we rebuild. We survive." His voice grew colder. "You ignored our warning once. You sent fleets to invade our home again. You killed without reason. You called it exploration. We call it arrogance. Every alien in the chamber felt the weight of those words. We gave the galaxy peace once. We gave it knowledge. We built your trade routes, your colonies, your defense networks. And what did you give us? He leaned closer to the screen. Fire. On the Leviathan, Gaia's eyes shone bright as she began projecting images across the galaxy. Old memories from Earth's history. Billions watched as hollow images filled the skies of alien worlds. Human cities burning under alien fire. Children running through smoke. Human soldiers fighting till their last breath. Then, silence. Gaia's voice followed, cold and calm. The galaxy thought humanity had fallen. But humanity learned from the pain. It buried its heart deep beneath the earth. It built me. It built the Leviathan. And it waited. The council chamber filled with tension. Some members shouted, others begged to speak, but Rakor raised his hand. Let him finish, Arik continued. We are not conquerors. We are not gods. We are survivors. But if anyone tries to harm Earth again, they will not face an army. They will face extinction. The lights in the hall flickered as Gaia's signal spread to every planet. On every screen, the same words appeared in bright. Blue light, do not return. The same message that started it all, now written across the stars. Suddenly, the ground of the council hall began to tremble. The alien leaders looked up as the roof's shields cracked open. Outside in orbit above the council's capital world, a new shape appeared. It was the Leviathan. No warning. No fleet. Just one ship. But its presence filled the entire sky. Thousands of council defense cannons locked onto it, shaking with fear. Arik's voice came through their comms. Do not fire. This is your only chance, Rakor whispered to himself. What are you? Gaia's voice filled the entire world. This is the final warning from Earth. You will leave Sol space forever. You will not approach our colonies, our moons, or our silence. Violate this, and the stars themselves will burn. The cannons stayed still. No one dared to move. Then some